We can continue this all day. I also will add you to the case if you want to continue this. This needs to be dismissed today. Today.
Well, let's go ahead and proceed because it's not going to be dismissed today.
All right, guys, today we've got a sovereign citizen going toe-to-toe with a judge, and this clown actually had the nerve to threaten the judge to his face. Like, seriously, who thought that was a smart move? You won't believe what happens next. This is about to get wild. Let's dive in and see how it all goes down.
Good morning to you, sir.
Your Honor, I'm going to represent myself in this matter. And for the record, my name is Grayson Bay.
All right, City of Detroit versus Javar, Grayson Bay. Your offer, sir, is a $240 fine, failure to display, and a seatbelt ticket. You pay those, we'll close the other matters out. That will abstract to the Secretary of State. And then the seatbelt ticket is $65. So $240, $65. We'll close the matters. We'll close the matters out. That'll be a failure to display. It will abstract, but it won't carry any points. And today is the date and time set for a trial.
Your Honor, today was supposed to be set for trial, and I don't consent to any of this.
This dude really thinks he has to consent to be prosecuted? Like, bro, this isn't a group project. You don't get to opt out. The audacity is unreal, walking into court like, nah, I don't agree to this, as if that's actually gonna work. If I were the judge, I'd hit him with contempt so fast he'd be sitting in a holding cell rethinking every life decision that led him here.
Okay, it is set for trial. I just gave you your offer so that you can you go in? Okay, there. I just gave you your offer so you could,
I'm not accepting that. I won't accept that offer.
Mr. Corporal Ambrose, can you put your appearance on the record, please?
Good morning, Corporal Brian Ambrose. Detroit Police Department, Badge 415.
Good morning to you. Okay, let's go. Are you ready to proceed, Corporal Ambrose?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I would object to holding this trial. I believe he stated that he's a different person. We have a ticket for a Mr. Javar Grayson. Grayson Bay is an entirely different person. We don't have jurisdiction over. We don't have a case over. I would object to holding that trial.
I'm going to deny the objection. He just said he's Grayson Bay. He just I don't think he's objecting to the fact. I
object to that, Your Honor. I'm objecting, and I also question George.
Imagine walking into court with this level of confidence just to get laughed at and take the biggest L of your life. Bro really thought he had a game-winning argument, only for the judge to hit him with the legal version of sit down. And not only that, but he's out here trying to challenge the court's jurisdiction. Like, my guy, if there was no jurisdiction, then why did you even show up? You had a whole morning to rethink this, yet here you are, standing in front of the judge, ready to lose in 4K.
Okay. Well, I'm denying your motion about jurisdiction, sir. The court has jurisdiction over you, so let's. Are you ready to proceed, Mr. Grayson Bay?
No, I'm not. I object to anything that you would call yourself doing. Also, I'd like to add that I sent this Brian and brochure. I sent him a COL. It's a color of law form. I warned him about this situation. This process is also in Wayne County. He's being sued. We can continue this all day. I also will add you to the case if you want to continue this. This needs to be dismissed today.
The audacity of these sovereign citizens never fails to amaze me. They walk into court like they're the main character in a movie literally no one asked for. They act like the law just doesn't apply to them, like it's all optional. But telling a judge to dismiss your case or else you'll sue him? That's next level delusion. That's not a power move, that's just straight up illegal. At this point, he's basically begging for contempt charges.
I would see Brian Ambrose in 3 weeks in Wayne County.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and proceed, because it's not going to be dismissed today. Okay.
Well,
So
I
you can
object,
do
Your
what
Honor.
you want to do over in circuit court. Then have your way. That is your right. I don't know
Thank
how you're proceeding in circuit court when you feel that this court doesn't even have jurisdiction over you. So let's go ahead and proceed. Corporal Ambrose, you want to speak with them before we proceed, Ms. Snyder?
Yes, Your Honor, and I do think we just need to clear up on the record that Your Honor has denied my motion to not have this matter heard today based on this defendant saying he is not the defendant before us. And also that defendant has agreed that he is not the defendant before us, but Your Honor is telling us to still do this trial. I need to make sure that's clear on the record.
Yeah, I don't think that he's denying that he's not Javar Grayson Bay. Are you denying that you're not Javar Grayson Bay, sir?
I am the living person, Grayson Bay, in living form.
This judge seriously needs to step up and hit this clown with contempt because he's turning the courtroom into a full-blown comedy club. He's clearly mocking the court and disrespecting the judge to his face, yet somehow, he's still standing there like he runs the place. I have no idea why the judge hasn't shut this down already, because at this point, this dude is practically asterisk begging for a one-way ticket to a holding cell.
Okay, so there it is.
However
he wants to articulate it, we'll let him articulate that. He's Grayson Bay. He's Javar Grayson Bay. His mom gave him that name. I don't think that's any dispute. Okay, so
that name has a social security card attached to it. It also has
I think it's going to be pretty quick, Ms. Snyder. I'll put you in a breakout room with Corporal Ambrose and put it that way. It is just an expired plate, a seatbelt ticket, no proof of insurance. What is this other thing? Refuse to exhibit license and a false information ID. So just join the breakout room, have a conversation with Corporal Ambrose, and then we'll just hear it. And if he has a right to remain silent, he says he doesn't want to be represented by a lawyer, and you can just put your case on the record, and I'll have to make a decision based on that.
So far, this case has been pretty standard, well, as standard as it gets when a sovereign citizen is involved. But now, we're about to see the prosecutor and Judge Perkins go head-to-head, and I am here for it. The prosecutor has had it with this guy's nonsense and wants a warrant since he won't even represent himself properly. But Judge Perkins? He's like, nope, we're moving forward, I'm not wasting another dime of taxpayer money on this clown. And honestly, respect. Why throw extra cash at someone who treats the law like a suggestion? Grab your popcorn, this is about to get good.
Supervisor has advised me to file an interlocutory appeal, Your Honor.
An interlocutory appeal on my motion, on your motion?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Or I suppose time to brief the issue, maybe on this record, or I'd leave in Your Honor's discretion.
Let's see does that interlocutory appeal, if that is,
I'm sorry, Your Honor, are we back on the record for Grayson?
Yeah, let's go back on the record with Mr. Javar Grayson Bay. Now, is that interlocutory appeal, I mean, I have to proceed. I mean, I got the discretion of whether I want to allow you to do that or not, or just proceed, and you can file your appeal. Correct? Give me the law on that. You're muted, Miss Snyder.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. My supervisor is talking to me over the wall, so it's hard to hear two people at once.
Okay.
The court rule is, I think she might be coming back. It's MCR 7.205.
205, application for leave to appeal, and you said What was the citation? What were the other?
7.212, but that's just saying the format for briefs.
I have 7.205 as application for leave to appeal. Appeals to circuit court. 7.105. If the order appealed is interlocutory, setting forth facts showing how the appellant would suffer substantial harm by awaiting final judgment before taking an appeal.
We believe that the substantial harm that the people would suffer would be the defendant has already stated he's filing numerous lawsuits against the court, against the parties, against the officer. We believe we'd be giving him a golden parachute. It's just one more issue to add to his level of appeals. This is one issue that needs to be clarified. Of course, he will be found, I believe, through fingerprints to be either the person given that ticket or Javar Grayson, the person given the ticket, will be given a capias warrant and we can move on. But I do believe that this issue needs to be handled before we make a further record. I have a duty to mitigate the city's damages. And I believe that's what we're doing and what I was advised to do by my supervisor.
But how would the city be harmed at all if we proceed? What would be any harm for the city? Especially if you acknowledge the fact that you think that by fingerprints that would be Mr. Javar Grayson.
But Your Honor, what we think and what we can prove as a matter of the record and as the court of law is different. I do understand it. I believe he's being frivolous. I think he is wasting the court's time. But I do think that as lawyers, as a court of law who do have to face appellate issues, this is something that we need to clear up on the record and have a clear record, such as a chain of custody of who Mr. Grayson is. I don't think it would take that long. Or we could solve this today with giving Javar Grayson a capias warrant and let Bay, whoever he may be, go on about his business. Either or. But I do think that having this trial over both of our objections is not the correct answer.
I just don't feel. I just don't feel.
You can't stand
one. I don't see any harm in proceeding. He's already indicated that he is Javar Grayson, except he wants to be acknowledged as Javar Grayson Bay, or he's the living. I don't know how he termed it. Person of Javar Grayson Bay. I don't think that, as a matter of fact, when Corporal Ambrose came in the room and introduced himself, I saw Mr. Grayson Bay sort of kind of had a look on his face. And to me, I took that look as he knows Corporal Ambrose. And it's no question. I haven't asked Corporal Ambrose if this is the person that he pulled over, but I'll definitely let you ask Corporal Ambrose that. But I don't think that there is any sort of identity issue here. I think the issue comes into something that we've seen probably, I don't know how many times, and I'm sure we're going to see it more in the future. And I agree that those things are frivolous and they do not apply. So I don't see anywhere where we can't proceed with.
Let me know what you guys think, because honestly, both sides kind of have a point. The judge is saying that everyone already knows who the sovereign citizen is, even though he refuses to go by his legal name in court, and that's exactly why he showed up in the first place. But the prosecutor is arguing that they still need actual proof of his identity, because if they don't, the case could get appealed, and they'll be stuck dealing with this nonsense all over again. Imagine going through all this just to have to redo it because they skipped the most basic step. At this point, I don't know whether to laugh or just shake my head. Man face palming.
Unless Corporal Ambrose says that to you and through you that this is not, I don't recognize this person that's here. And was this not the person that, or even if there was, I would even allow Mr. Grayson Bay to put on a identity defense and say, that wasn't me. He didn't. That wasn't the defense. I don't know what his defense is going to be.
Your Honor, may I?
No, you can't. No, you
Okay.
can't. No. When I ask you to, when I want you to speak,
No
I'll allow you to
problem.
speak. I'm going to give you that
No
opportunity.
problem.
So, to settle this matter about your objection, you know, it's like if the court rules bound me not to proceed because you wanted an interlocutory appeal, then that would be the court rules would bind me to do so. But I don't know of a court rule that's going to bind me not to appeal, and I just don't see in what harm it will be to any other parties, the defense or the city, by us proceeding in this fashion. I understand he's got cases over in circuit court. He may have cases over in federal court. I don't know. But here again, we're here. The parties are present, and I'm satisfied at least that that's the Mr. Javar Grayson Bay, that the person, we have the right person here in court today. So I'll let you make a last minute record, Ms. Schneider.
Can I just have one? My supervisor walked away. Can I have 1 second to go talk to her?
Yes. Now you can. Well, let's see if you want to. If Mr. Grayson has anything, I'm gonna allow him an opportunity to speak so you can hear what he has to say. Go ahead, Mr. Grayson Bay.
Your Honor, I sent you a declaration of notice stating who I am and the fraud, Javar Grayson. I sent you the paperwork. This was over 3 or 4 months ago. I'm pretty sure you have plenty of time to read and understand the situation. And that, like I said, again, that is my declaration of notice. You should have that in the file as we.
Let me know what you guys think because, honestly, both sides kind of have a point. The judge is saying that everyone already knows who the sovereign citizen is, even though he refuses to go by his legal name in court, and that's exactly why he showed up in the first place. But the prosecutor is arguing that they still need actual proof of his identity because if they don't, the case could get appealed, and they'll be stuck dealing with this nonsense all over again. Imagine going through all this just to have to redo it because they skipped the most basic step. At this point, I don't know whether to laugh or just shake my head. Man face palming.